Hello, it's good to see you again for this next part of our series. I want to go over some basics before we begin. Number one, we often think that Mass begins when the lector or the cantor says, "Good morning and welcome to St. Edward's," or even when we stand to begin the procession. But the Mass actually begins long before it begins. There's a lot of preparation, and it's the culmination of many people taking part. I'm not talking about those who unlock the doors or prepare the water, bread, wine, and the books, although they are important. I am talking about each of us and how we arrive. There's a deep theological significance in how we arrive, from the time we wake up and get ready for Mass to the actual arrival at the church building. This is the mystery of the assembly, the coming together of many people into one place to pray under the headship of the priest or bishop. This is church. The Greek word for church is ekklesia, which carries a complex meaning. Ekklesia means a calling out and a calling together at the same time. Church is a gathering of those called by God. We are called out of our normal lives and called together into an assembly that God keeps together. It becomes the church both in heaven and on earth that is assembled to celebrate the mystery that was originally prepared for us at the beginning of the world. This means that what we do at Mass gives meaning to all of creation and all of human history. And it is present here in ritual form and in the people who participate. Number two, we're going to look at an ideal Mass. This means one in which all the elements come together in their proper way. So that is what I want us to imagine as we go through this. If you have had an experience of a poorly organized Mass with poor quality of music, a not so great homily, one where the ritual seems rushed or too slow, or any number of things, I'd ask you to set that aside for a while and imagine a major Mass, a big liturgical event where there are many gathered for the celebration. Imagine a Sunday Mass that is beautiful and full of prayer. This is how I want to enter into this so that we can examine Mass in all its parts. Sunday is the primary day for Christians to gather in prayer because it was on a Sunday that Christ rose from the dead. Every Sunday is a celebration of the resurrection through the celebration of the Eucharist. It identifies the start of the week and a day in which we give ourselves over to prayer, rest in the Lord, communion with one another, and to celebrate the joy of our salvation. And so with this in mind, how does the rest of our day go after Mass? Do we continue to celebrate this joy? Do we greet everyone with happiness? This is the ideal situation, and it should be protected from the culture in which we live. We don't make excuses for not going to Mass, but rather, Mass should be our excuse for missing everything else. Number three, the minister par excellence who presides at Mass is the bishop, even though our experience is usually a priest. We must first understand that behind every priest is a bishop who ordained him and sent him out to a particular community. We must also understand that in what God has arranged for us, there is only one priest, and that is Christ himself. Bishops and priests represent the one priest, Christ. They are mysteries, meaning within them, Christ is hidden, and this is the divine reality. Christ acts and speaks through the words and actions of the priest or bishop. And so within the structure, our diocese, we see the bishop as a leader and chief authority. He represents Christ as head, Christ as the leader, and Christ as the only authority. With pastors and other priests, they represent the bishop, who represents Christ. Remember, though, that Christ shares his priesthood with all the baptized. This means that a priest's actions and words during Mass are all directed at uniting all the baptized, the royal priesthood, with him in offering the priestly act, the act of offering himself to the Father for the sake and salvation of the entire world. This is the sense of the royal priesthood, that all of Christ's people are priests because they are united with the bishop and priests in their priestly acts. Next week, we'll look at the beginnings of Mass as we know it, starting with the procession, and then proceed on from there. See you next week, and God bless.